Imagine a book, let's say a planner, that is like any other planner but with one major difference. And it makes over $5,000 every single month in royalties. How is that possible? Can you guess what the secret ingredient is to make so much money with just one planner? Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the power of branding. Hello, home bosses. My name is Nuria Corby from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online from self-publishing. So today we're diving deep into the phenomenon of a best-selling book, but not just because of its content, but really because of its branding. I'm going to unravel the mystery behind its success and show you how you can harness the power of branding to make your own book stand out and possibly achieve similar success. So grab a coffee and let's dive in. So I really like looking through the top 100 Amazon bestsellers in books. And I do that regularly just to see if there are any low content books in there, and of course also to see what kind of books are selling at the moment. And it's always really interesting because there are always so many ideas that I can get just from looking through the top 100. And it's interesting to see the kind of books also that are in the top 100 at different times. So with Christmas approaching now, I expect there to be a lot of books doing very well that can be given as gifts. And I quite like this idea as well, Board of Lunch, and then this is like an air fryer book with recipes. I've heard so much about air fryers. People seem to love them. I'm even thinking about getting one myself. I would personally buy that, but it's an idea to think about what other type of books can we create that are not just low content books, but also have more content in them, maybe even non-fiction books. But there are so many ideas that I get when I look through these. And what was really interesting, I have to say this is the UK Amazon site, so it will be very different for the .com, for the US side, and for all the different marketplaces. So depending on what marketplace you are on, this will be different. And I was looking through the UK one and I came across this book here. And I thought, wow, this looks very much like a low content book. It's just a planner. And it's number 42 in the charts. So this is doing extremely well. I'm not a big fan of these sweary sort of books. I know there are a lot of coloring books, a lot of planners, a lot of journals that use this kind of sweary language. I'm not a big fan. Only because I think it has been done so much now. It's not a novelty anymore. It's not unique anymore, but this book has been doing really well. So I thought, let me explore this a little bit and maybe I can find out why it has been doing so well, how much it's selling. And I just wanted to dig a little bit deeper because I think by looking into things like that, we can learn a lot. So let's check and see, first of all, how many copies is this book selling? So to see how much this book is making in sales, I like to go onto the Self-Publishing Titans page, and under free tools, you can see they've got a KDP BSR sales calculator. So I go on that. I will leave a link to the Self-Publishing Titans page under my video, and I really recommend you check it out because they've got so many great tools for anybody publishing on KDP, and they've also got some very good free tools. So the BSR calculator is here, so I've clicked on that, and now all I need to do is to enter the BSR of the book that I'm trying to research. So if you go back onto the top 100 in Amazon, there's the BSR, it's number 42. So we can type that into our calculator, and remember also to select which country you're looking in. So I was looking at amazon.co.uk, which is the site in the UK, and then we just click calculate sales. So it's telling us that the estimated sales per month are 1,557, and per day that's about nearly 52 books a day, so between 51 and 52 books a day, and this works out at $5,760 if we look at the total book royalties being a standard 60%. That would make a royalty of $3.7 per book on average. If it's a paperback, you can also check out the hardcovers. So that is quite a nice amount to make from just one book. And of course, that is just in the UK. So they probably have a different BSR, of course, in the US and in all the other marketplaces. But it just caught my attention when I saw it on the UK side, and it just goes to show that you can still make really good money with low content books, and you just have to have that idea and that uniqueness about it, because I did dig into it a little bit more and I found that there are a lot of these type of planners copying this one, of course, and you're always going to get that, people copying other people, but they just don't make the sales because they are copying a book that is already established, that has a really high BSR, and that has quite a lot of reviews already. So it's never a good idea to copy a book just because it's making a lot of money every month and it's selling really well. It doesn't mean that if you copy that book, you're going to get sales. In fact, it would be very difficult to compete against this book. So you do have to think of something that makes your book stand out and that makes it unique and doesn't copy something that is already out there. And of course, that's not an easy thing to do, but it's also not that difficult. I think any business has to be proactive and has to be innovative, and you have to think of unique ideas and not just copy what other people are doing. But the thing that we can copy is how they do their promoting and how they do their advertising and what they do to make their book sell. And this one is actually a really good example to show you how they are branding their books. So I'm not saying create more of these books because, like I said, these kind of books are already established, but you can create a planner with a different idea that isn't already on Amazon, or you can create a different type of book altogether. And one of the types of books that I like to create are educational books, for example, and you can build a whole brand around it. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about today, how you can build a brand for your book. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can do it in a very, very simple way. And this is why I chose this book to show you how they're doing it, because I think they have done a really good job with it. So let's see who the author is. The author is Sassy Quotes Press. So first of all, we're going to dig into who they are and look on their author page. So the very least you can do to brand your books is to have an author page. And an author page is absolutely free. You just have to create it on Amazon KDP. And once you have created your author page, you will be able to say something about you. If you're branding yourself as an author, you can talk a little bit about yourself. But if you're branding it as a company, like they have done in this case, so you can read the full bio here. So they've got it as a publishing brand, and they've got a logo. If you're branding yourself as an author, you would have a picture of yourself or of the author, whoever you're choosing. But if you're branding yourself as a brand, as a company, then it's a good idea to have a logo for your brand, and you can print them on all of your books so that people can get to know you and get used to the look of your brand. And once you have an author page, you also have all of your books in one page. So all the books under that pen name, under this brand name, are on your author page. And it looks a little bit like this. It's like a website with all of your books listed. And this is really handy to let people know about your brand, what kind of books you have. And the great thing about this is that people can follow you. There's a follow button under your books or on your author brand. And when people click this follow button, that means that they are subscribed to your brand. And every time that you publish a new book on Amazon KDP under this author name, they send an email to people who have subscribed to your author page, and that really helps with your sales as well. And I do have a video about how to set up your Author Central page, and I will leave it linked after this video and also underneath this video so you can have a look. It's definitely worth creating your author page because it's all part of branding, and these kind of books are really good for a brand. You can have all different brands. You can have a planner brand, for example, making just planners. You can have a journal brand. You could have an educational brand where you can fit in all types of different educational activity books. So there are just so many different types of books that you can brand, and it's all about branding similar books, so they all have to have something in common. So you can create, like I said, a brand for just planners, just for activity books, just for coloring books, that kind of thing. So you have to group the books that go together in one brand. You could also have a brand that goes wide and that just publishes funny books, for example, and they could be anything. They could be planners, journals, coloring books. And what they all have in common is that they're humorous and they're funny. So your brand has to put books together that have something in common. And in this case, what they've done is they've got sassy quotes, and that's why they call themselves Sassy Quotes Press. And I know that Amazon don't like to have these type of author names. They prefer you to have people's names, but you could set up a brand by using your own ISBN, and then your publishing name would be Sassy Quotes Press. I'll give you an example for one of my brands, which I've just started. I've got some more brands for my low content books, but as you probably know, I've written a book under my real name, not under a pen name, and that is the Homeboss Toolkit. So as you can see here, I've got the author as Nuria Corby, my own name, but if you scroll down, you can see that the publisher is Homeboss Media, and that is because I bought my own ISBN, and therefore the publisher doesn't say independently published. It actually has my brand, which is my Homeboss brand. And you can do the same thing, but you don't have to. You can just brand each pen name as a separate brand. It's a good idea to plan this a little bit, so make sure you know what kind of brand you want to create and what kind of pen names you would put under the brand. Would it be just one pen name, or could you have different types of books under one brand? And I looked up Sassy Quotes Press and found their website, and you can see that it's a very, very simple website, but it's very effective. And they've got a sign-up form on their homepage, and this is very important because when people order our books on Amazon, we don't know who our customers are because we don't see their email addresses. But what they've done in this particular book, I'll quickly show you. If we click on Read Sample, which is like the look inside feature that we used to have, you can see they've got an introduction to the book at first, and they also have a notice here that says to sign up for more instant freebies and weekly prize giveaways, visit sassyquotespress.com. And by doing this, and people, of course, everybody wants a freebie, so they go on the website, and this is how they find this sign up form, and they enter their email address, and that is how this company or this brand can build their email list. And email lists are really important because you can then let your followers or your subscribers know of other books that you bring out, and you can just give them news and give them more information about your books. And they've got all sorts of books in the same kind of sweary format, and I'm sure they've got a lot of followers that love these type of books. And what they've also done is they've got the different links for different Amazon marketplaces. So this one is for the Amazon US side, this is for Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, and Amazon Australia. You could also do this by using BookLinker, and then depending on where your customers are, they get directed automatically to their own marketplace. But you can also do it like this, where they just have each of their author pages linking to their website. And what's also very clever, if you click on this book here, this is not a planner, because they can also create an audiobook and a hardcover and a Kindle. You can't do that for low content books, because low content books are books that you want to write in. And of course, that's not allowed for Kindle, for ebooks, because you can't write in an ebook. And how would you even listen to a planner or to a notebook? That is impossible. But these kind of books that they've done, which are sweary affirmations, it's a very, very simple book. If you have a look inside, it's just really pages with affirmations. The first pages are an explanation of the book, and then you just have pages that are affirmations. And personally, I wouldn't do this, because if you have an audiobook that's just reading those things, I don't know how good that would be, how much value that would be for the customers. But if you're not sure about that, all you have to do is go on the ratings and see what people see about it. So this one, for example, says, this book is short quotes. I read it in about 15 minutes, has a few cute sayings, but overall probably not worth the money. And I understand why they're saying this, because for me, it wouldn't offer a lot of value. But then you also have this review. I love listening to these amazing affirmations while I'm getting ready to go out. So she's really happy about the book. So sometimes you just can't say whether it's a good idea or not. Sometimes it's just a question of trying it out and seeing what the customers say. It's something that you have to decide for yourself. I probably wouldn't do that, but it's a possibility if you're making a book that has a lot of content. I think that would be then a really good idea to make different formats of your book. So this is an example of how this author has branded their books, and I think it's just such a good idea to brand your book. I will be talking more about branding and how this can help your book sales. That is one of the things that's really helped my company. And like I said, I make a lot of books in educational niches. I also have other niches. And by the way, there is another tool coming out this week to create educational books, and I will let you know what that is, because I'm really excited about it. It's another tool that I can add to my educational brand that lets me create books that are educational, and they're always very popular on Amazon, and there's a lot of scope to brand those type of books. So I hope that this little insight into this book has helped you get an idea of, first of all, how to look for ideas by looking under the top 100, but also to investigate books that are selling very well and see what they're doing. How are they creating those sales? And branding is one of those ways, because by branding a book, you can then also promote your book better. Like I said, I will make more videos about that. And hopefully you've enjoyed this one. And if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe to see more videos like this. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.